So we're at the first portage. There's a little stream here, the little brookies. John tried to cast a couple times and his reel kind of wrapped around itself, so no choice but to stop. My line has to be retied because I have to recuperate the line and lure.
Hello YouTube fam! Don't forget to like and subscribe this video!
There's Narrowbag Mike. Yeah, so we're gonna start our first portage and get to camp. Alright, so first trip of the year. We're at Kiosk Access Point, our first time here. So we're going to work our way to Maple Creek, which is where we're staying tonight. The fact that ice out was in April, bugs are pretty good, pretty solid right now. So blackflies, deer flies, mosquitoes, all the goodness. So I just paddled out a little bit to see if I can get a little breeze, get them away from me. But yeah, so 1 week trip, me, Mike and John, and it should be fun. Let's see if we can catch some fish and make some memories. Alright, so I said we're on Kiosk Lake, Wascowie, I think it's full name. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but so we gotta head across and down towards Maple Creek, through on a orange Rapella, doing some trolling on the way. Our day it's supposed to be like 30 degrees. It's actually not too bad right now. And I mean, we're out in the water now, so the bugs are less significant. Nice lake though. And I mean, it didn't take us that much longer to get here than it takes us to get to Cedar. And I mean, we drove paved road the whole way, so that was nice. Yeah, should be a good day. We'll probably get to camp just after lunch. We'll set up our stuff, have some lunch, and the two campsites on Maple Creek. One is at the bottom of the rapids, and one's at the top of the rapids. So we'll check them out and make our choice. I just got the first fish of the trip. Trolling. Looks like a laker. Nope. Yep. Christ. Okay, I'm gonna turn off the camera so I can deal with this because he swallowed the lure. Yeah, so essentially he swallowed my Rapella pretty good, so we're just gonna have we're gonna get to the portage, fillet them up, and we'll have that for lunch instead of super pepperoni sticks. So we're at the first portage. There's a little stream here, the little brookies. John tried to cast a couple times and his reel kind of wrapped around itself, so no choice but to stop. My line has to be retied because I have to recuperate the line and lure.
Hello YouTube fam! Don't forget to like and subscribe this video!
Trout are here. Oh, so here we go. Fish just everywhere. Bad, we can have a little bit more I mean, we gotta cook this fish before it goes bad. But yeah, we'd be definitely fishing this spot. Hopefully where we're camping at the end of those rapids, and we'll have some fish there. So we're coming up on our second to last portage. It's a 1:30. Then we have a little bit of a longer paddle, and then can't remember what the other one is, and then a little paddle and then campsite. So coming up on a beaver dam here. Assuming we're gonna have to carry over it. Continue on the other side. pocket. No, way too much current. Getting up to the next campsite, Portage. Hopefully it works for us. If not, we'll probably just have lunch and move on to Maple or something. 3 of us are in hammocks, so we have to have spots to hang all 3. The campsite's on the Portage, but a little bit away from the water. It's actually nice because the bugs are more at the water where the falls are. Looks like we have a couple of spots here, so we're going to check it out. See if we can find spots for all 3 hammocks, and then we're going to eat. On Maple Creek, we're going to take the Portage to Maple, and then go over through Rat Trap down 3 Mile towards Upper Kawau. Something like that, Upper Kawau. I didn't film much yesterday. I think I was just happy to be out here between just relaxing, having a coffee beside the water, fighting off the blackflies. We spent after supper, we just got our steaks and trout cooked up just in time to clean up before the rain. It rained for probably a good 2 to 3 hours. So yeah, so it's our first time using the Ursacks. So far, you know, they seem to work okay. I mean, doesn't mean something didn't come across them or didn't come across them. You know, no test really there, but anyway, so I'm set up over here between these 2 little trees. John was back there in his hammock, and then Mike's there with the DDXL, and then the Eureka bug shelters behind that. Yeah, so we just I'm just about to pack up my stuff, just finished my breakfast, some coffee and some maple oats. So I'm going to get everything ready, restring my fishing line, and then we're going to get on the Portage Trail. Alright, so we're doing the 800 from Maple Creek to Maple Lake. Had a pretty good morning. Mosquitoes came out pretty good, obviously with the rain last night and everything. But we got a relatively okay day today. Shouldn't be too difficult. So let's hope for the best. So we just did the Maple 800 meter Maple Creek. John just told me we have another 130 to do on Maple Creek to Maple Creek until we get to Maple Lake. So we're just gonna have some water. It was first part of that Portage was pretty much uphill, so it kind of killed us all first thing in the morning. Anyway, pitter patter. So we just finished the 130 from Maple Creek to Maple Lake. John and Mike are getting their stuff in the canoe, and then we paddle up. And from what I remember, Maple to Rat Trap is not a crazy portage. 300. Yeah, it's 300. It just goes in like an L shape. You walk and then you cut towards the lake, and then through Rat Trap into 3 Mile. So, how you feeling, Mike?
Don't forget to like and subscribe. 90% of the users watch, but they don't actually subscribe. Subscribe.
So we're up on the portage to Rat Trap. We had to take this detour last year because of we couldn't get through the other part of Maple Creek to where we were supposed to stay, so we had a huge detour day. But anyway, things are looking good today, so gorgeous, water's glass, pretty good. Nice to be out. Okay, so we probably got about 5 or 6 portages today. 2 of them are hovering around 15, 16. So it's still early in the day, but tomorrow we have a pretty short day, depending. We're going to be heading down through Birchcliff, so we accounted for a short day just in case we had to saw through alders or whatever. No, things are going good though. Probably stop a few hours for some lunch and go from there. Starting our trek towards 3 Mile, 1500 from Rat Trap to Boggy, and then we'll have some lunch and move on. I think we have 2 big portages today. Said this one and maybe 16, but we'll stop, we'll eat, we'll drink, we'll fish, take our time, we're not in a rush. So, ran into a bunch of guys on this portage, the Rat Trap. Said that they were coming through 3 Mile and the fishing was pretty good there, seeing as how. Now we have 600 to do to a smaller lake, and then 550 into 3 Mile. And then we have to go all the way from the top of 3 Mile all the way down, and then finish the day with a 1200. Into Kawa, and then if it's nice, we'll sun's out, hang a clothesline, jump in the water, and make a coffee. I think for the second day, after not doing a whole lot of stuff over the winter, I think it's taking us some time to get back into the groove. It's slowly happening. I mean, shoulders are burning still because of the weight. I think we're all hovering around 70 to 75 pounds. I have my pack boat, which is 30. Before I left, my food bag was, what was it, 20 something? And then, yeah, my food bag was 20 something, and my base weight is hovering around 27 pounds for all my camping gear. So John and she split the load. John's carrying all his gear plus the boat, and Mike is carrying his gear plus John's food and the kitchen tent. So when we came in, we're pretty much all even on weight. So, all right. So right now it's not too bad. The blackflies are swarming right now, but they're not biting as much as they were yesterday. We have a small little lake to paddle just before our portage to 3 Mile. I can't remember what the name of this lake is, but anyway, it'd be nice to, like I said, this is the second day. We've had quite a few portages already, and we got to finish off the day with a 12 something into upper whatever, Kawa, upper Kawa. So it's gonna, like, as long as it's not too windy on 3 Mile, we'll get some time in the boat instead of being on the on the portage trail. So far, what we've been doing is just portage, little lake, portage, little lake, portage, little lake. So nice to get out in the middle of the water with a breeze. But there you go. Just once again, this is peace. You don't have to worry about anything out here. I mean, you do, but whatever's going on in your own life kind of helps put things into perspective. How simple things can be. Essentially, you carry what you need on your back, nothing extra, and kind of reset the brain. So 550 into 3 mile. Hopefully it's not too bad. I think we're all starting to lose steam now. Like I said, it'll do us some good to be in the boat for a while. It's just been portage day. So we're all feeling lower backs and shoulders, but we'll get there. We're trolling, well, G's trolling, John's trolling 3 mile. They just hooked up on a big fish. Don't know what it is yet, if it's a laker or maybe a walleye. The lake's supposed to have all kinds of fish in it, so we'll see what it is. First impressions, probably a laker.
That'd be my guess.
There's John reeling in his monster fish. We're all waiting. We're all waiting for the big moment. Didn't you say there was all kind of fish in this lake?
Like at least 3 symbols,
But
need rock, laker, and
walleye pulls like a log, man. So I don't think that's the way it's fighting. I don't see it being a walleye. Or a very good bass. Anyway, stay tuned. There's John's giant laker. I'm pretty sure this fucker's too big to eat.
Oh yeah.
We'll put this back. Plus, I mean, this size, you're pretty much going for the mercury poisoning at that point.
Yeah.
So, it's decent size, man.
He's like battle scarred and shit. You see that?
Yeah, he's lived.
Sure, he's like, no, I don't
You
see where I can grab him.
You got forceps or?
I do. Wow. He's pretty tired. Wow. It's too big for me.
There's
Laker for the 3 mile.
to our last portage of the day. Should be around 3 o'clock. It's 12 something or other into Apakawa. We'll probably throw a couple of lines anyway, even though there's no fish on the map. But I mean, we have caught fish before in places that it's not marked on the map. So throw a couple of lines, see what's what. Definitely set up our stuff. It's we get a sunny campsite and jump in the water, clean off, rehydrate supper. I'm having I made all the suppers for everybody this trip. I made spaghetti. I made garlic beef noodle with broccoli and cauliflower. I made butter chicken and a chicken parmesan. So we have several meals of each, and that'll get us through. And every now and then hopefully we'll eat a trout or two. So we just finished up supper on North Sylvia Lake. There's a little lake here. Got the bug shelter set up here. John and Mike putting away gear. John's got his hammock all the way set up at the top of the hill. Fire, trying to get rid of the bugs. And then I got my hammock here. And Mike's is back there. So, that wasn't the best when we got here, but it ended up working out for us. So now we're just gonna relax. Just finished up the dishes. Find a place to hang the food. And enjoy a fire. Hopefully these black flies will go away soon. Alright, so we're packing up here. Morning of day 3. We have a 1,000-meter portage into Birchcliff Creek. And then either we battle alders or we don't. But we gotta pretty much go all the way down Birchcliff to Birchcliff Lake, where there's trout and bass. So if we get to camp early, then we'll be able to fish. If not, then we'll just sit up and enjoy the night like we did last night. Alright, talk to you later. Heading down towards Kawa and then Birchcliff Creek and into Birchcliff Lake, where we're staying for the night. So I think we have like a 320-meter portage to get to Kawa, and then another tiny paddle, and then a 1020 or something into Birchcliff Creek. So we'll see how that goes. We had a good night last night. Some critters coming through camp, but nothing crazy. Pretty sure I heard a fox or something doing this fox howl thingy, or whining, whatever. But, definitely a cooler day today. So see if we get through Birchcliff Creek relatively unscathed, catch some fish, and enjoy our day. So first portage of the day. Sign reads 390 up Akawa to Kawa. So far it's just a road. So shouldn't be too bad. Said I'm curious to see Birchcliff Creek from some of the YouTube videos we've watched. Seems like it could be a nightmare sometimes. So we'll see how it is. Showing up ahead. Like I said, it's just a road so far. Might go into the bush at one point. We'll see. Kawa. Bigger lake right now. We have a little paddle to get to Birchcliff Creek, and I have some snacks before then. Get some clean water once we get a little bit further in. But, yeah, I think last year, I can't remember exactly the path we took, but we came through here to get back on track when we had to take that big detour through Rat Trap and 3 Mile and whatnot. But so far, a nice day to paddle. It's not too hot, not too cool. Water's pretty calm. So, okay, cool. Alright, well, if this is actually the entrance to Birchcliff, then this is going to be fun. Alders are already overgrown in the middle. I might actually try and single blade this. Yeah, I think it is. this is it. Oh, it's gonna be fun. Gonna be fun. So essentially I just split my kayak paddle into one single blade, so that way I'm not tapping on the alders the whole time. But yeah, this is definitely the way in. Should be a fun day. 5 minutes into Birchcliff Creek. It's the nightmare that we heard it was. I mean, I put on my sunglasses even though there's no sun, just use them as safety glasses so I'm not getting hit in the eyeballs with frickin' alders. So, things are fun. Got to a point here in the creek where it kind of, there's an alder that's cracked, so we can't really get through. So there's a little path on the side. We thought maybe people kind of bushwhacked around, but it seems like there's only one tree in our way. So we brought 2 silkies with us, just especially because we were coming down Birchcliff. So John's just gone up ahead to cut that branch, and we'll keep getting through here. Okay, so we're heading up Birchcliff. We're at the point where there's a campsite, the ranger cabin, and it's been pretty thick. So it's going to be probably taking us a while to get through here. Mike's trimming back some alders right now. So see how the rest. Taking a little breather here at the campsite on the what do you call this? Birchcliff. And we got up to the top. It's just a gorgeous campsite. It's just all open, nice benches, fire pit. So me and John walked down this little road here, this little path, and we could probably skip about a good 60-70 meters of the river. So that's what we're gonna do, especially seeing there's a giant down tree right there that we'd have to battle through. So it's a bit of a chore because we're going against the current as well, but I guess we're getting through it. Like I said, we found this little path that brings us to this put-in over here. So we stopped for a snack. We double carried just over here because it's a really nice smooth road, and I carried the bag over like a backpack, and I didn't even bother putting the yoke on the canoe. I just grabbed the gunnel, carried it over like Samsonite luggage. But just to give you an idea, okay, there's a log down there that we're gonna have to contend with as soon as we get in the water. Pretty much have to go over that, and the current's pretty strong, so I guess somebody made a path over there. But I'm gonna walk down a little bit further, see if there's a way past that tree, but I don't think so. It looks like we're going over the tree. Okay, so this side where we put in, the alders seem to be a little bit more passable. I think maybe people have gone down this way recently, maybe stayed at that camp because it was still pretty clean. Our contention now is beaver dams. This is the second one we've gone over. First one I was able to find solid just below my knee, but I dragged the boat over. Second one I could only find solid like up to mid-thigh. So it's raining a little bit right now, but we're just gonna, so far after the thing, there's parts of Birchcliff need to open up, and the alders seem to be a little bit not so much in your face. They still are. The thing with doing it with a solo boat is every now and then there's a branch or something that catches the bow, whatever the front is. Every now and then there's a branch that catches the front of the boat, and it kind of pushes you in a certain direction, but it's not the direction you need to go in. Whereas like if you're in a canoe, the guy in the front can move stuff out of the way of the boat. So, but like I said, so far this is a lot easier than the first half. Hey, so I mean, even though the alders are a little bit better than the first part, once we get through Birchcliff and set up camp, and that's not going to be for a while, I'm going to put Birchcliff on my bucket list because I ain't coming back here. It's like you move a branch out of the way, you have to push through other branches with your head. Not fun. Anyway, like I said, you only live once and we're doing it, so. So we're in the marsh area, about halfway to the portage. I just had to pull over a beaver dam. I'm waiting for Mike and John to pull over. I got quite the chill right now, so if it's not too wet when we get to camp, I'll probably try to either get a fire going really quickly if the wood's around, or throw up my tarp and dry out and put on my dry clothes, my rain jacket. It's just kind of spinning right now. Not full on rain, but we're kind of soaked because as you're pulling yourself through the alders, they're wet, and every time you go underneath them, all the water from the leaves and the branches fall on your head. So that's pretty much why we're soaked through. But like I said, I have some merino wool base layers, and a puffy, Arc'teryx puffy, and a toque, some dry socks. Actually, I got 2 pairs of dry socks, but anyway, I just want to get warm right now. Just want to get to camp and get warm. From what I could see, we're heading back into the alders. So, back to the single blade. I hope the portage is fucking clear. It's like our 4th or 5th beaver dam down Birchcliff. They've been busy. Busy little beavers. So we just did the 580 to Birchcliff Creek, just before Birchcliff Lake. We got her at the portage, and I was just shivering like crazy. So rather than throwing my rain jacket to try and start building up heat right away, what I did was I just grabbed my bag and just did the portage. And I don't know how I did it as quickly as I did, but when I got to the end of the portage, pulled up my rain jacket, and now I'm containing the heat. I'm damp, but I feel a lot warmer. So yeah, can't wait to get to camp and get into dry clothes. Get some spaghetti in me because I'm getting hungry. I'm pretty much day's done for me. So we got to paddle this little marsh and then into the lake. So we're finally at Birchcliff. The 2 campsites here are completely unusable, so we're going to just stay on the land of Birchcliff cabin because we're soaked through. It's late in the day, and we might not make it to the next lake. So guess what? It is what it is. After me and Mike were shivering, G was cold, and we were all pretty much burnt. And the 2 campsites here just sucked. Fucking sucked. So we came to the cabin, Birchcliff cabin, and we tried off, we changed, made supper, coffee for me and Mike. Now, say hi, Mike.
Fucking ass kicking, man.
Yeah, but look at this.
Yeah, this is sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a fucking
ass kicker.
You want to say hi to future?
We had a pretty fucking hardcore day today, and everybody fucking pulled through without complaining, got the job done.
Oh no, I was complaining. I was just in my own boat.
Yeah, no, there was some complaining on specific things, but in general, take a break, keep going.
To me, it was just like I had to throw in a couple of fucking Samuel L. Jackson motherfuckers just to get through a couple of, you know, almost in the eye, fucking hit in the face several times. But
I might have sworn once.
I
think I swore once.
I screamed out at least puta.
Oh yeah, he was freaking out a little bit.
Fuck shit, fuck my life.
But
fuck.
not, but like I said, no real complaining about the day. Just like, let's get her done.
Yeah, and like I said, we had this godsend here, so.
Yeah, that's so sweet.
Gonna give us the tour of the cabin.
Yeah.
Where we dried off and made supper.
But it smells very delightful.
Somebody locked it.
Oh, it's just that thing. Okay, you come in here. There's a little kitchen table there. I can't see shit. I can't see anything. There's not enough light.
No light.
Unless my screen is not working. Does the screen turn off after a while?
Yeah, it turns off.
Okay.
Save battery.
Alright, I wasn't sure. Anyway, so a little counter. This water pump doesn't work. We figured that out. So we got food everywhere. Yeah. So there's bunk beds, one double or queen, one single, two singles here, another table here. But I swear to God, I think this thing saved us a little bit today. I mean, we would have got it done, but we always do. But it was nice to be able to just not have to worry about setting up gear to get dry. So anyway, miss everybody at home. And tomorrow's Tuesday, so we got another almost a week in here. We're coming out on Sunday. So me and G got our hammock set up right behind the cabin. Mike's going to be a little bit further down the trail. But yeah, this was good. Last night when we were getting their stuff set up, we had two guys coming down the trail. They had rented the cabin for the night. We explained the situation to them that we were just going to camp in the back. If that was good with them, they were perfectly fine with that. We told them the two campsites over there sucked and we couldn't use them. They were really cool. I think one was Chris, one was Matt. So anyway, we're packing up this morning, and they told us they were all cleaning out, they're hiking out. They actually came in from access point 1, paddled about 40 kilometers, and ended at 10. They bailed the first part of Birchcliff Creek, where that campsite was, and then they just ditched their canoe and hiked the rest of the way, probably another 10 kilometers to get here. So that's good on them for doing that. So anyway, they were going out. They said that the cabin was warm from the fire last night, so we're just in here and just finished packing up and was getting some heat a little bit, but nice to get out of the wind too. Once your gear is down, you gotta get out of the wind somewhere. So say hello, Mikey. Hello, Mikey. Peace. All right, so we'll catch you later. So we're starting our second 1,000-meter portage. Slowly whittling our way down to the Nipissing. And we stopped for a snack and some water. And we were saying how we would rather be traveling all day in the rain than sitting around in a kitchen tent all day in the rain. So yeah, you get wet, but get to see the park, and it's less boring than sitting around a kitchen tent, even though we do keep ourselves amused with our stupid comments and our razzing each other. So anyway, catch up with you later. We got J.H. McDonald to Lauren Harris Lake 150, and we got I think a pretty decent paddle before we get to the next portage, which is I think a pretty tiny one. So Anyway, chip and chase. We'll get there. Okay. A little out of breath. Just carried my bag and my boat up to the second plateau. And then we go up that one. So, a little out of breath. But I'll go show you where we're going. So, this hill here kind of sucks. I dropped my bag there, pick it up on the way back. John and Mike are getting their stuff out of the boat. Down there. There it is, and that's where we're going. 495 to Prairie Owl, Barred Owl, whatever.
Okay, so it's 12:30. We're making pretty good time. We're just about to hit the 1900 to the Nipissing River. Then we have a tiny stretch of the Nipissing to do until Stewart Dam, and that's the campsite that we have booked right after that tiny portage. I think it's a 390. Hopefully it works out, because May trips and seeing how you have to book specific sites in the Nipissing, I'm pretty sure they're all taken. Okay, so we're starting the 19 towards the Nipissing River. Mike's got point, I'm in the middle. John's behind me. Like John was saying in his video just now, we've done the portage, the longer portage, one over down the Nipissing, but we never this one. So we'll see how it goes. After this, we only have a small stretch of the Nipissing to do, so that'd be nice. Should be at camp by 2:30. Dry off, throw out the stuff, eat, and do some fishing. Why?
But my GoPro's facing the woods.
So is mine.
Take a picture of you two like that.
GoPro, take a picture.
GoPro, stop recording.
Of the 1.9 to Nipissing River. You can see the water from here. It actually went pretty good. We only dropped like 3 times, and it wasn't because of fatigue, it was more just shoulder burn. So now we have a little stretch of the Nipissing to do before we get to Stewart Dam. I believe it's a 320 portage, and then we'll be staying on that site, which me and John have had crazy success fishing at previous times we were there. So it should be a good night, and we're at camp. We'll be at camp relatively early, so that's good. Okay, well, back on the Nipissing. Nothing better for a May trip than being on the Nipissing. I'm gonna wait for them to get in to their boat. I'm gonna throw a few lines, see if I can get anything.
Last portaging into our camp. We're gonna have a campsite on the portage trail. Like I said, me and John, a couple 4 years back probably, we stayed here, and it was a May trip, and it was like non-stop trout. So let's hope it's the same. Should be. And yeah. Anyway, it's relatively early, so the sun's coming out from time to time, so we might be able to dry some stuff out. Okay, so here's the campsite here, right on the portage trail. So essentially, rapids come down here. There's a chute over there and a chute over this way. And last time we were here, we kind of set up the boat in the middle, attached to those shrubs right there, and we're just casting to either side, and it was just non-stop fish. And then we also have a little spot down here that we can fill the platypus and also fish from if we don't want to go out in the boat. So there it is, fire pit. I think the thunder box is back there. Well, should be good. So I was waiting for my food to dehydrate, so I went through a couple of lines, through a Len Thompson about 4 or 5 times, and I swapped over to what I've been having luck with. It's like a orange and white shallow wrap. And at first cast, I picked up a little brookie around 8 inches, 9 inches. So I put them back because we're not going to eat trout tonight. So yeah, I'll show you camp a little bit. We're running on the portage trail here. The portage trail comes from there, goes through here. I got my ridge runner set up there. We got the bug shelter set up here. And then Mike has his DD set up here. And back in Siberia over there, John set up with the amok. So tonight I'm eating my dehydrated chicken parmesan. And Mike and John are having my dehydrated garlic beef, broccoli, and cauliflower noodles. So anyway, I've been eating pretty good this trip, so anyway, catch you later. I'm gonna eat. Okay, so it's Wednesday morning. We're getting packed up. We don't have a very long day. We'll probably get to camp in about 2 hours or so, 2.5 hours. So we're gonna fish these rapids here for a bit. John already caught this morning, so I think two or three. Anyway, last night got really cold. Good thing I had my puffy and my hammock with me, or else I would have froze. Temperature just dropped like all of a sudden. So anyway, we all made it through the night. Had some breakfast, coffee. Mike's packing up his stuff now, and we're going to be on the water relatively shortly. Okay, catch up with you later. Okay, so we're probably going to start heading down the river here. Last time me and John were here, we were pulling out trout non-stop, but that was also ice out. And ice out happened here 3 weeks ago, 3.5 weeks ago even, maybe. So John pulled about 4 out of from the boat with a little weaver grabber. I tried various Rapellas, various Len Thompsons, didn't get anything. Mike too is using EGB, he didn't get any hits. So anyway, we'll move down the river, see if there's anything there.
So we're starting a big portage from Nipissing to Nipissing. I think it's 2K or so, over 2K maybe, I don't know, can't remember. Anyway, we got to do it anyway, so. But we're going mostly downhill because we're going with the flow of the river, so shouldn't be too many uphills. But anyway, short day today. Not short, but shorter. So let's get at it. Yeah, so we just did the 2700. Stopped at the bottom. And, John threw a couple of lines, caught a little trout. Wasn't too bad once you get to the peak. It's a steady downhill, so I think we dropped 3 times and it had maybe about 300 meters, 350 maybe, left to the end. So it's just after 12. We're gonna take off a good chunk of the Nipissing here, and then we have a small portage, another chunk, actually a tiny bit, and then another smaller portage, and then a medium chunk. I think this chunk of the Nipissing is the biggest one out of the 3 that we have to do. So anyway, I'm gonna go through a couple of lines here, see if I can catch anything, but I don't have the greatest spoon on right now. Using this pink, yellow, and white Len Thompson. So we shall see. I have caught trout on this before, but it's funny, I remember a lot of the parts of the Nipissing. We've been here so much. Gonna get around this little thing here before I go sideways. There we go. I think it actually did that because there's a bunch of big rocks. I've been doing this thing with my reel so it doesn't explode again. Seems to be working so far. It's just a really awkward feeling for me, the way I have to do it so it doesn't explode, but it's like I have to pull the bail, or close the bail by hand, and kind of bring the line into place so it doesn't explode. Anyway, John and Mike are coming now, so put my line away. Catch you later. And so I was just mentioning that John, it's weird we haven't crossed paths with anybody in the Nipissing yet. Normally we do, especially in May. Maybe people figured because ice out was a couple of weeks ago and the fish had moved more into the lakes. I mean, we've been catching fish, but not anything like ice out. Very yeah, there's cabins up here. There's like remnants of buckets and cans. It's like I know where we are. There's like remnants of an old camp. I think that Jeff's map says something about a PW camp from World War II. But it's pretty cool to see stuff like that. Portage of the day. It's 1900 High Falls. Hopefully we can get the very last campsite. It's pretty much the only usable one. So anyway, hopped on the Portage Trail just to throw on my bug net, and I noticed that John wasn't right behind me, so I was wondering what was going on. I waited about 4 or 5 minutes, and all of a sudden they're coming up, both having just bags. John's got no canoe on him. Apparently the rivets that hold the yoke in place let go. So we'll see what we can do to fix it. Hopefully we can. Long way down. Mike dropped their gear at the second campsite to go back and get the canoe. We're gonna have to carry it 2 people. I'm just gonna head up to the third campsite, see if it's taken. If not, then I'm gonna wait for them here. And if it is, then I'm just gonna go back to the second one where they already are. And it doesn't look like there's anybody here, which is nice, because even though the put-in sucks, rocks. Even though the put-in sucks, it's a very nice campsite, and we're able to catch fish from shore. So nice. Okay, so that's where I came from. See the nice little flow here, so the the trout, like I said a couple of times, we've been able to catch from shore, and there's all kinds of hammock spots everywhere. Long day. Thought we were gonna get here about an hour and a half ago, but anyway, we're here now. I just hope we can fix the yoke, or else we're gonna have to figure out an exit strategy. And apparently, oh, it's a shitty knife, or a shitty saw. I thought it was a silky. I was like, first I find a Agua Canyon on one Nipissing, and now I find a silky, but no, it's not a silky. Anyway, maybe Mike wants a knife. Okay, so I'm sitting here trying to think while I'm waiting for them. What do we have gear-wise that we might be able to cannibalize? Like 2 1/8 screws, because they're 1/8 rivets. So I found a screwdriver in my possibles pouch from when I carried my drone around. That changed the propellers, but I can't think of anything. John says maybe off the Scotty rod holder that he's got on the canoe. I'm thinking those might be too big. Okay, so the GoPro mounts are all 3/16. So we can't use those. Maybe some stuff from the fishing rods. I don't know. But we got to figure it out because, like John said, as I passed him on the portage, it's not just to carry the canoe. It's a very thin, lightweight Kevlar canoe, and it's the 2 thwarts in the yoke that give it its force. So already the boat twists a little bit depending on what situation Mike and John are in. If that yoke doesn't get fixed permanently, then we might have to find a plan B. But all the plan B's to head towards an outfitter's to get the yoke fixed are all through large lakes and with a lot of portage. So I don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see. All right, so here's supper. My rehydrated, dehydrated homemade spaghetti. That's what everybody opted for tonight. It's pretty tasty. You still got it. So I just hooked up on a trout before while I was waiting for my supper to rehydrate. John just hit one again. So anyway, here's our High Falls campsite. I got my my Ridge Runner set up over here, right beside the water. My boat's here, Cruiser 14.8, kitchen tent. Mike's got his hammock here, and then John has his hammock set up in the back. So essentially we gonna make a beeline for a kiosk tomorrow. It'll probably take us 2 days to get there because the yoke on the canoe let go. So G MacGyvered a strap around it just so we could portage it, but because it's a structural part of the boat, we can't continue the trip like this. So we're gonna head down the Nipissing, and we're gonna try and hit Maple Lake tomorrow, and then on Friday we'll go from Maple to Kiosk, and then we'll drive home. So I mean, we're still out here for just under a week, but anyway, it was still fun. But this is the right call to do, so there's no choice to take a compromised boat on the rest of the trip, so we'll just go out early. Alright, I'm gonna go eat my supper. Okay, so morning of day 5 here on High Falls. So like I said yesterday, the plan is to make a beeline for Kiosk. We're gonna get to Maple today. That way we have just Maple Creek and kiosks to do tomorrow to get to the truck. As per usual, as we're packing up, a little bit of rain. I think we all managed to get our hammocks down before the tarps got wet. So that leaves just the bug shelter. So John's going to reinforce the strap on the boat, and we're going to head off pretty soon and make our way down the Nipissing, up through Nadine, Osler, Little Nadine, bunch of other little lakes I can't remember the names, but and then we'll hit Maple, try and get as far as up Maple as possible, so that way it's not too long to get to the truck tomorrow. So of course, you know, with our fun day, we got to add rain to the situation, but we all got our rain gear, so should be good. Okay, so we're on the Nipissing. It's around 9:30. Had a pretty big travel day today. A lot of portage. Essentially, the two largest paddles we have to do are right now to the Nadine portage, and then portage Little Lake, portage Little Lake, portage Little Lake. Osler is a little bit bigger, but essentially we need to make it to Maple today, so that way we have a very short day tomorrow, and hopefully the water stay calm and the boat holds together, but we get it done. Okay, so first portage of the day, 8:50, Nipissing to Nipissing. And we have a little chunk up the Nipissing towards Nadine portage, which is really not fun. And even though we're going downhill on the Osler portage, that one's not fun either. Anyway, gotta do it. Talking to Mike last night, and saying when we started this trip I had a gut feeling that something was going to happen. Didn't know what it was, but I guess maybe it's the yoke. I mean, things happen, you got to deal with it. I'm just glad they're still able to paddle with it. So we got to do Birchcliff, which was essentially the goal of this trip. We had heard so many horror stories, and for good reason. It wasn't easy, but it was one of those things we just had to do. Like, trust me, I cursed my way through it, and I was happy when it was done. But we did it, and we can look for the next challenge, I guess. Me and John have always talked about doing the meanest link at one point. The only thing is we'd have to do it later in the season, because working in Quebec in the construction industry, we have 2 allotted holidays weeks that we have to take, obligatory. So it would probably take us just over a week to do, the way me and John travel. So maybe that's up for a challenge in the future. We shall see. Right now it's just hope the boat holds up. Hope we can get to the truck all in one piece and nobody hurts themselves. And should be all good. And we'll stop, some pizza and beer at a Wawa, and head on back to La Belle Province and get a long weekend with the family. So just my memory of the Nipissing, I'm pretty sure I'm going to turn this corner and see the portage to Nadine. Big sandy hill and a campsite. We'll see. I'm right. And I'm right. There it is. Wanted to see it, and I didn't want to see it at the same time. I hate this portage, but once we get on this portage, then I'll feel pretty good about the rest of the day. Alright, catch you later. So we're starting the 1400 into Nadine. It's not very far. The thing about this portage is it's just not a crazy slope, just a very steady uphill for majority of it. So you're constantly just walking uphill. So anyway, to that point, you turn the corner and you just see a straight line, probably about, I'm gonna say about 10, maybe 12 degrees, but it's for a long chunk. All right, catch you on the flip side unless something happens. GoPro stop recording. Nadine portage, this is pretty much what you contend with. 15 degrees, every 20 to 30 meters or so, and the flat parts aren't flat, they remain at 3 degrees to 5 degrees, so it's just a steady, non-stop climb. Anyway, alright, so I can finally see the water of Nadine from the portage trail, and we have, I'm going to say 150 meters of down. The rest of the 1400 is all uphill in some ways or another. Very, very happy to see it. Very, very happy to get this portage finished. Because like I said, this is the one I was dreading all day. And then a little blowdown on a downhill slope. Oh, so definitely a little blowdown on an uphill slope either, but yeah, this give you an idea how steep it is. Probably about 35-degree angle straight down. Find my footing. And we're here, Nadine. Next stop, portage to Osler. Which also sucks, but at least it's downhill. Alright, so we're on to Osler Lake here. Have a little bit of lunch, and then paddle the lake, and then on to Heart Attack Hill, but in the opposite direction. So we have a short up and a constant down. These three, anybody looking at this run, these three portages, no word of a lie, they suck. But if you just kind of push through, you can get through it. But anyway, so this is the longest paddle we have before Maple. Everything after Heart Attack Hill is a little pond skip. So anyway, lunchtime. Okay, so after checking the map from Osler to Little Osler, we have a 700-meter portage. Then we have a little pond skip to Heart Attack Hill portage. Probably have about 200-250 meters uphill, and then the rest is down to 955, I believe. And then into Little Nadine, and then up portage into a creek, I believe. A couple of portages there, and yeah, and then we hit Maple. It's 20 to 1 right now. My prediction is we paddle as far up Maple as possible. I'll probably camp around 5:30 maybe, depending on how far we push up Maple. So, anyway. Okay, so we're into Little Ostler, pond skip to the portage, which is Heart Attack Hill, 955 I believe, the Little Nadine. My knees are pretty much shot on hills. My bag's probably down to about, I started off at 46 or 47 pounds, probably dropped about, I don't know, 8 pounds of food, so I'm probably at 39 pounds, 40 maybe. But yeah, there's been so much uphill today, and I have really bad knees, so it's kicking my butt a little bit. But anyway, I might 200 up Heart Attack Hill, and then it's a steady downwards. So if I have any problems, I'm just going to drop my boat and bring the bag to the peak, and then come back from my bag or my boat. So anyway, it won't be the worst case scenario. At least I'll get up the hill. All right, we're on Little Nadine. We're just taking a breather from our back to back portages, all uphill and then downhill. You can see across there. Well, you can't see it because it's the GoPro. The portage is right there to Scoose. So
another shit portage. That's where it's going.
So we got 4 more till we get to Maple, or Arab, or Maple. Maple? Arab?
Arab first and then Maple.
Yeah.
Depends what province you're in.
So anyway, I don't know what time it is. Probably around 2:30. That was gonna be my guess too. So we're gonna get in the water pretty soon and keep her going. Actually, skip it. $6.95 to Maple Creek. Then we should have a 30 after that. And then the last big one. Alright, so we're on Maple Creek now. Have a little paddle on Maple Creek to a 90-meter portage to Maple Creek, and then we have a 695 into Arab, and then we're gonna just paddle as far as we can up, try and get to Maple, even though it's all maple. So we're thinking we'll probably make camp around 5. And hopefully we'll be pretty far up the lake. Okay, so we just did the 90 from Maple Creek to Maple Creek. That's what we went around. So now we got a small little Maple Creek coming up into a 690 into Arab Lake, and then we'll just paddle the hell out of that. Banker active. This is not the last portage of the day. It would be if we were staying at Arab, but there's a 170 that goes from Arab to Maple, so we have to do that one too if we're going to stay on Maple tonight. So I hope there's not too much uphill on this one because my knees are shot. My ankles hurt, my shoulders jacked, and I'm hungry and tired. Good top shape altogether. So yeah, Arab is a very long lake, but it feels good to be in a boat right now, actually paddling. Did so much portage today, and the paddling that we did was very short. Like I said, pond skips. So nice to use my arms instead of my legs. Even though my shoulder is completely jacked, it still feels pretty good. Should be at the narrowing within about 15 minutes maybe. Do the 170 and then start looking for the campsite. Alright, so we're into Maple. Start looking for a site. I mean, technically we could go out tonight, but I don't want to paddle all the way to Maple and then Maple Creek and then Kiosk and then 5.5 hour drive home. I don't think they do either. I mean, like Mike said, if it was life or death, we'd probably be able to do it and get her done, but the yoke's holding up pretty good, so we'll just have a nice short day tomorrow, get back early, and have a bit of a long weekend. So we're staying on the South Island right after the portage into Maple. It's not occupied. It's a little windy out here on the point, but back in there it's pretty wooded. So we'll be able to get out, get the hammocks out of the wind, bug out of the wind, all that good stuff. So we're just setting out the bug tent. Gonna dry off, get some warm clothes on, and start rehydrating my supper, and then I'll put up my hammock while that's happening. So I don't have a very long day tomorrow. Maple Creek, and then Kiosk, and then out. So catch you later, and then unless something major happens. Okay, so we're on the Southern Island campsite. As you come out of the 170 portage into Maple. We came in on this side. There's a boat in here, and the boats are there. John has his hammock set up here. We have a bug shelter set up there. My hammock's set up back there. And then it's a really nice campsite actually. There's lots of really flat spots for tents, lots of trees for hammocks. There's John filtering water. Mike's over here, more towards the front. And then come out here. Over there beside Mike is another put in with the actual campsite sign. And then we have this gorgeous front view here. Fire pit, a little bench, rocks you can fish from. So we took the first campsite that worked, and it's completely gorgeous and it's completely useful. So it's absolutely huge. And like I said, after the day we had today, getting this as a little treat at the end of the day worked out really well. So anyway, we're gonna filter some water. We're gonna sit around, shoot the gab, and then head to sleep. And then tomorrow we head across Maple, which isn't very far, probably about 20-25 minutes.
and then we have I think it's five portages down Maple Creek, and then into kiosk, and 20-minute paddle and kiosk, and we're at the truck. So anyway, catch you guys later. Okay, so morning of day 7 on Maple Lake. We're just packing up. Me and John have our stuff by the water there. Mike's packing up his hammock. So it's probably hovering around 8:15. I'll be out of here by 8:30. At the truck before 12 for sure. So we have like 6 portages. I think the biggest one's like an 800 or something like that. But it's all downhill, and we're going with the current of Maple Creek, so it should be pretty relatively quick once we get there. And we'll just have to paddle kiosk to the truck. But no, we had a good night last night. Once again, I didn't sleep well. I think I had this inflatable neck hammock pillow, or just a pillow, and it had like material in it at the same time. And when I went to reorder it, one of those, because mine had a hole in it, they didn't have any in stock. So I just bought these inflatable pillows off of Amazon. And since I've had those, I just haven't slept well. So as soon as I get back and take my shower, I'm going to, tonight I'll probably see if they have them back in stock in Mech. Order one, or 2 actually, just in case. So John and Mike are back there. Mike's gear is there. Me and John's gear are down by the water. Ready to hit the road.
I'm going to ask John his perspective on this trip.
Not the trip we expected, but still really fun. It was cut short, but to me, the main goals of the trip we had already accomplished, and the extra stuff was just going to be seeing some sites we'd seen in the past that we had really good look at. So I mean, it sucks that we didn't get to do the whole trip, but still we got a lot done in the 6 or 7 days that we've been out here.
Mike, your perspective on the trip?
It was nice. It was nice. The alders there was cool. Fuck. The only thing I didn't like was the ass kicking on the way out. Aside from that, whatever.
But we did it.
That's it. We did it.
Get her done.
A couple of old guys. Not so bad.
Cool. Alright, coming up on the second portage. It's an 8:05 Maple Creek. Second of 6. Pack my paddle away this time. Should be a little bit of an uphill and then mostly downhill. Proud of myself. Just did the 8 and one carry. Cool. So the portage we just did was the passed by the campsite we stayed at first night. So now we just have tiny paddles and 4 other portages. So I think one's a 9. The other one's maybe a 6. Something 400. I don't know. Anyway, we gotta do them. So, but yeah, carried that 800 one shot. It wasn't a difficult portage, but I'm proud of myself because I mean it's obviously easier at the end of the trip when your bag is lighter. You're eating all your food, but I mean we still have technically 3 days of food in the bag, but it's obviously lighter. Felt a lot better, but boat and bag were carrying relatively well, so now we're just making our way down Maple Creek. Alright, so it's 775. I thought it was a 900.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah. That's what it said on the map. Anyway, so this is our last portage into Kiosk. Yeah, so bugs are crazy. Shouldn't take us too long once we get to Kiosk to get to the truck. And we'll pack up and head home. So a little shout out to the boys at Knox on Woods. We got to the portage and they were there. And then I turned around and I noticed this other YouTuber's been following me the whole time. Jonathan Mullen. I didn't even notice him.
My channel's so small you wouldn't have recognized me. Oh shucks.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, so they said they were going to be heading down Birchcliff as well, but in the opposite direction. So good on them. And like I said, on John's post or whatever is recording that I think all the YouTubers crazy. We just have to cross off this crazy stuff off our list.
They've been there before though.
Oh, have they?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So I'll see you on the other side. All right, so we're back in the Kiosk. Just finished the last 6th portage for the day, or for the trip actually even. So as I was going through this trip, I actually thought of the title that I'm going to give this video, and that's going to be Bros, Birchcliff, Blackflies, and Broken Yokes. So anyway, hopefully I have another video to edit from last year. I'll probably edit this one first, and then do the other one. But anyway, we'll see. I got lots of projects this summer, so here we go. Okay, so paddling Kiosk here. Got some side waves, little peaks. No white caps really, but just larger waves. So I'm just gonna try and head towards shore, into the little bay kind of thing. Get some protection from the trees. I'm pretty sure I can see the Kiosk access point from here. And also I want to make sure that John and Mike make it over to where I'm headed to, because like I said, their boat is compromised and already twisty boat, so in these waves it might be twisted even a little bit more. So anyway, checking in a bit. Okay, so coming up to the Kiosk access point. John and Mike are behind me at one point. I'm kind of struggling to keep my boat straight because of the waves and the wind. My boat's getting tossed a little bit all over the place. So I keep looking back to make sure that they're still doing good. And at one point, they had passed the bay and I didn't notice that they passed the bay, so I kind of waited. And then I started to paddle back a little bit, and then I noticed that they passed the bay. So anyway, there's the Kiosk access point. I'm going to pull out onto the beach and wait for them. And yeah, and then we'll head home. So, pretty much a good trip. Like I said, some unexpected things, but we did get to do what we wanted to do, which was Birchcliff. Got to stay at some of our more favorite campsites, so that was cool too. So anyway, until next time, see you up there.